Happy Monday. Today is Monday, August 26th, and this is the GreenFire campfire around. So come join around this electronic campfire and bring your friends in too, for all of us to share the golden eternity of an hour. For this hour is set aside for a little bit of reflection, a little bit of celebration, a little bit of deep dive, and a little bit of inspiration, a little bit of celebration. And we are here in River City, Iowa City, Iowa, Channel 18, public access television, here in the heartland of the upper Midwest. And today is, as August 26th, the beginning of school for all the little minions and munchkins out there, all the little first graders and all those at the University of Iowa and the different universities of the regions of Iowa. Today is the first day of school. And this is not autumn, this is still summer. In fact, summer is here until September 22nd. So this is actually summer for another month. Yet here in late August, the beginning of school. Now, I can remember beginning of school in late August too, and usually it's pretty hot and muggy, and usually the windows are open on the second or third floor where I went to school at Sacred Heart School in Waterloo, Iowa, and Sacred Heart School in Owine, Iowa, and all these other parts around here. Including West High School and so on. So this is, hopefully the schools have some air conditioning. If not, they have the windows open and the kids get let out early. But this is bring your brand new school, brand new clothes and brand new crayons and all the different little ruler and little pencil and all the little things, a little backpack, and all the little things for your first day of school. And hopefully somebody got some nice new clothes to go to school with, or nice new shoes. We don't want to take these things for granted. And over the years, they grow in importance, just on reflection. So this is a time of reflection. At least August always seems to me to be kind of a dark month time, even though it's summer. It seems like it's a deeper time when the sap starts receding from the trees and so forth. And after Lugnasad, August 2nd, the daylight hours begin to get shorter. And this is kind of not a gloom, but a time of reflection, it seems to me, even though we're in the height of summer. And there's all kinds of county fairs having gone on, and state fair and all. That seems to me to be, on the time-space continuum, but on a deeper, more etheric continuum. It seems to be a deeper time of reflection. Especially what I've been getting is reflection on our ancestors and friends, the elders who have come before us, and so may in some way dedicate this to our ancestors and elders and those who have gone before us, and ask them for inspiration. There is a form of a reflection I've received or been given called the invocation and invitation of all the bodhisattvas. And that's kind of goes like this: the invitation and invocation of all the bodhisattvas, all the saints and all the martyrs, all the venerable ones, all the blessed ones, all the peacemakers, all the caretakers, all the visionaries and dreamers and artists and poets and painters, and all of the medicine women and medicine men, and all the yogis and yoginis and roshis and rishis and sadhus and sannyasins and satgurus and gurus and karmapas and chelas, and all the all the Tulkus and Shakduds and Rinpoches, all the holy ones in all the different religions and spiritualities of humankind, invoking them in to come sit around the golden campfire of this eternal hour of green fire. And as I unfolded that as kind of a living lotus in the center of this room, may you take some of this and use that as an invocation and invitation of all the bodhisattvas in your life and whom you've met in your world. As it's noted, cosmos endopluctinos is what the cosmos is, but this is cosmos spelled with a K. Carl Sagan had it totally wrong. And this is a cosmos invoked and invited with a K, cosmos. And there's many different levels to reality. And this particular level goes into the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, clear on out to string theory, and clear on out to the void and beyond. That's what the different levels of life and different levels of, you call it heaven, but the different levels of spirituality, and invoking all those angelic divas and so forth on these different levels to come and participate and sit in on this circle of this holy good day. And that's just a prayer of affirmation. And we really need prayers of affirmation right now, because I don't see it happening in the media or in the political realm that we're in at this time, that almost totally clueless and totally without spirituality. So this is the changing, we have moved into Virgo, and just a little note on moving into Virgo from August 23rd to September 23rd. It encourages us to step out to engage the community and share our passion, much as we are here. The spring brings fiery flashes of synchronicities, propelling our spiritual life out of its rut and opening us to exciting journeys, both literal and metaphoric. Let us pay attention to the signs, and we will find wild meaning and intention for our life. Although communications with our significant others may feel strained and confusing in March, and resist the urge to over-explain things, this year Mercury is illuminating the difficulties and talents of our social self, how we communicate, negotiate, and collaborate with others. We don't have to let everyone know our feelings, but it's imperative that you know how you're feeling. Take time to do an emotional check-in before meetings, gatherings, or dates. Jupiter brings a consciousness shift close to home. So Jupiter is visible in the night sky. You may have extra energy or resources to revamp your dwelling place, which I'm working on as I speak. Let your creativity shine as you build a deeper connection to where you live and who you live with. Speaking of creativity, Saturn and Pluto have been pressuring us to make something, express ourselves, or fight for a right to have fun. This energy can be compulsive or destructive when ignored, so let us not ignore this creative energy. Instead, let's cultivate health and integrity by making time and space for self-expression. It doesn't matter how much we create or who sees it. Let's not forget that it doesn't matter how much we create or who sees it. Don't repress our playfulness. It is a revolutionary and transformative and will add zest to any community, action groups, or any groups that you are involved in. So this is kind of the little message for moving into Virgo from August 23rd to September 23rd. Two of fire. and so Virgo, it brings a brigad's blessing, and on this particular day, Monday, there's kind of a waning moon. And later, around the first or the 31st of August, it will be a new moon. And we will celebrate all along the way. And this is for the people of Standing Rock, but also Bold, Iowa, and the people who fought the Dakota Access Pipeline. It's called Water Protectors. The Missouri pours the longest river in America, flows into the Mississippi near the birthplace of Black Lives Matter. Shall we say, Indian Lives Matter. It flows past where Katrina washed a city clean of poor people, flows into the Atlantic Ocean where 5 centuries ago slave-stealing ships followed the smoke of burning witches, paving the road for Christianity's science capitalism, colonial schism erasing pagan cultures. Victors forgot how they got their spoils, but the despoiled remember. Histories flow together like rivers and pipelines. Water remembers. Navajo social media fairy said prayer is simple. Help me, thank you. And off she blew to the Protectors Dakota Showdown. Before there was Facebook, deep time people sent out drum stories. Ancestors of these same horses whinnied, prancing under an older sky, when the invaders shot them all down. The river flows on. Home, writing poems in a room full of snakes, rushing whitewater beams from Facebook Hill, where they're indigenizing media with digital smoke signals, live feeds, storytell prophecies, black snake devouring the world, capitalism's rivers choking on pipelines. The whole world is watching. It's simple, she said. Help me. Histories flow together. Thank you. Elders sit in chairs while warriors gallop the endless body of wind, flaming arrows sending pixels across their land. The raised fists, fires, feathers, drums, the tanks, tear gas, babies, army, the calm, beautiful horses, Mini Wikani, water is life. Ceremony broadcast over a broad band of wind and eagles. My bones the rattle, my heart the drum. I'm pierced with visions of earth and water, fire and air, great mystery of living rivers, forests, animals, a fierce rudder, a blade, my voice and arms raised with theirs, prayer, a net tossed over all there is. This is carrying the torch. And so this is for all our relations. Mitakwe. So that's a prayer for the water protectors and for all people who suffered from the floods of earlier this year and any pipeline spills up north, down south, east and west, and all these oil companies who refuse to stand down on holy ground. And may the people live, survive and thrive. So in that spirit, this is a piece that I wrote on near January 1st, 2010. Hear the soldier bones. Hear the soldier bones. Even the spark of love has grown stone cold. Jesus Christ can't even hear this. It tears the soul from the vault, and it's nobody's fault. Or whose fault is it? Been working toward this all my life. Now the war is wan, weak, in crypts of blood, even the encoded shoulder erased inside the double helixed calyx of separation time. Inside OK DNA, and no one knows a bone or owes a dime for this time. Hear the soldiers' bones. They grow where all the groans have stopped, and all the twisted sisters have gathered in situ ritual. Only goddess mystery knows, inside Arcadia fire, the lipstick of your mind wraps your lips around me every time you close your eyes. Come and find your lover underneath the covers. San Francisco, darling, in the open golden gate of now. hang gliding off the cliffs of forever eternitas, and your desire shines in diamond jeweled ornament in your heart. She sings in the diamond jeweled ornament of your heart. She sings liberation, here where you will only find desire, once and true, and only once in your life, where it dances forever in this ocean of secrets, beyond the cold of the age. Spread the ashes of your rage upon this age. Come up here once and forever and dance in this green fire. Burn yourself, purify this desire. Get ready for whoa in the mystery of this circadian relief. See it painted in the silhouette, smiling on the side of your face. In female cameo, hanging on gold chain, caressing your neck, dancing and cascading in shimmering ripples down your breast, and the symmetry of desires birth in the fires. From here, dripping and shining radiance, my heart and soul singing through shimmering blue of your beauty dark, champagne eyes. Create your birth here, behind a dark mirror, and sing in the fire. Hear the soldier bones, and know release, forgiveness, loving compassion, burning desire, setting the old mental house aflame, setting the old mental house aflame, sending it up in fire. So now we can see the full moon over the new year of this new school year, and setting the house on fire, so we can see the full moon. Tatsvam Asi, thou art that. Happy New Year. Love this. Aho. Hear the old soldier bones. Hear the soldier's bones. As we are in the 18th, almost 19th year of our war in Afghanistan, and 2 young Americans, military men, were killed in Afghanistan last Friday. And so please light a candle in their honor, and all the people who died and were killed in Afghanistan and Iraq, and the American military men who didn't really need to go there. All those who've died in these last 18 years of non-stop continuous war, the longest war ever in the United States history. Time to think about that and ask yourself, what have you done to stop this war? Have you even stepped out and done a peace vigil? Have you lit a candle? Well, maybe it's time that you light a candle and start stepping out and stepping up and acting for peace. Not only for peace in America, but peace in Afghanistan, peace in Saudi Arabia, peace in the Middle East, peace in our hearts. Maybe it's time to plant a peace pole in our heart here, and also where you live. For more information about peace poles, check it out. So this is some pieces that I wrote that is, and I'm going through as a time of reflection, and I mentioned earlier about August somewhat being a time of your biorhythms are slow, and you're more of in a reflective in a darkness of reflection. Not to say that it's dark, but the darkness when there's no sunlight in the day forces us into a time of reflection, because there's no really charged particles that were in the sunshine. And this is from D.F. Goddess, called the Universal Creatrix. Mother, Father, creation of all people, of all places, of all nations. Rest thy healing hand upon us now. Fill us with healing sensation. Let the one true harmony within each of us come together for a symphony and melody so complete, totally transformation for all. is instantaneous. Believe it. It is happening. It has happened. Worry not of the physical 3D reality so much anymore. We are synthesizing creative mind, creative heart, soul, and spirit as one. Light has already taken reign over this world. Surrender into it. Let go. Bring the others. Bless all. Sent in the heart of this reflection. And that is a beautiful creatrix affirmation. This was written on winter solstice 2014, near the beginning of 2015. The greatest stride of soul. We crack the cosmic egg. The concrescence wave sends energy vibrations across omniverse. Tesseract appears, crackling sacred fire through the synapses of time. Loving energy warms our yearning and thirsting. Loving energy warms our yearning and thirsting. Loving energy warms our yearning and thirsting. Singing Alleluia, Alleluia, Alleluia. This holy night in our chalice well, the greatest stride of soul humanity will ever take is seen to begin. To melt the glaciers a billionth of an inch. Hextillions of stars sing in the firmament, brightly shining, joy to the world. Aho! Ah, the greatest stride of soul humankind will ever take. And this one is sitting in the Mount Mercy Library in the lower Coven. This is Mount Mercy College in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, sitting on the highest place overlooking downtown Cedar Rapids, the highest place in Cedar Rapids. There is a covenant in the bower, a holy place upon the hill. Prayers whisper here. Through the years, it used to be where the Sisters of Mercy, the mother house of the Sisters of Mercy, who were mostly teachers and nurses. Prayers whisper here, through the years, through the walls, through the halls. Mendicants, munchkins, and minions. There is a butterfly effect here in this chrysalis. A chrism effect in the deep midnight dhatu blue of holy illuminated minds at rest here in the song divine of milieu. Millions on the Rosa Cruciate are touched in the depths of this chalice well. Ave Maria is the way in this beautiful place of May. Rosaria Numens Numina in this beautiful month of May. Singing a holy good way. Everything is okay. In the stillness in these bowers who pray, Via Gloriosa is a long illumined path. Via Gloriosa is a long illumined path. Via Gloriosa is a long illumined path whose hem is not touched by man, but seen at night in the twinkling of the stars above this Sipapu Paha, in the twinkling of the stars above the Sipapu Paha. Joy of the journey. And a thank you to all the Sisters of Mercy who were founded by an Irish nun when she came to America, and they've served people that were sick in the hospitals and educated thousands of children. And I am one of them. And so grateful to the Sisters of Mercy. This is interesting. We'll just follow it where it goes. Sparkling forever in the eternal dance, shining sparklers upon our face, as we come upon the trail that walks us into the light upon the path, shining upon us in going to the sun trail, in green rolling highland meadows of high Himalaya, surrounded by secrets of the golden flower, showering us with love, strength, justice, dancing round savannas of holy oak, druid troth, holy oak troth. Just us is Jesus is just us. The yoke of peace is light. The yoga of justice is love. Just us. And Oz gathered with the Jedi in the welcoming power, in the welcoming party. Well, come in and feel the troth of your love, the troth of our love, shining through dove from above, in loving kindness for one another, and black, yellow, red, white, rainbow hoops of all the nations, singing sweet medicine song of Decanawida in the tree of the most great peace, for the seventh generation yet to come. Through gratitude, we put latitude in our attitude and achieve altitude and reach orbit around this beloved water planet, Aquaterra, singing mirth, may peace prevail upon earth through the sacred four directions of this great medicine wheel of life, spinning, sparkling, whirling, our sparkling dance through the universe, singing, we are one in infinite sun. Ah, suddenly, forever, suddenly, perennial, suddenly, sui lux aeternis, singing, love is all there is. Aho, midnight full moon, harvest fair, dreaming the dark in chalice well, autumn equinox, Zulkan in Lakesh, Alakan, 2013. 2013. So that was a harvest dance. These are different conduits and facets and fractals of the aspects of the past. So this, I mentioned this time of reflection. This is called 13 Years for the Seventh Generation Yet to Come. Dear friend, it has been 13 long years since the beginning of the war. This is written in 2014. Dear friend, it has been 13 long years since the beginning of the war. Immoral, illegal, unjust, the Afghanistan war, call it more of an invasion. Unjust, 13 long years of evil missteps, and the boot on the back of our neck, the boot of Homeland Security, the boot of the NSA, the boot of drones of the CIA, the boot of waterboarding, the boot of Guantanamo, the boot of torture, killing and kidnapping worldwide by Black Ops and the Joint Special Forces operations. What a sugar-coated, upside-down, pentagon word for outright cold-blooded killing. The boot of death for over 1 million in Iraq and Afghanistan, with blood dripping out the taxpayers' fingers who funded the Pentagon pigs at the trough, and Blackwater and Halliburton and Raytheon and the Carlyle Group, and Rockwell Collins and Bechtel and British Petroleum and Honeywell, and thousands of other U.S. companies who trucked out trillions of dollars in this carnage of death. FISA courts, surveillance of hundreds of millions of Americans, the boot of debt, home foreclosures, unemployment for millions of Americans, the boot of bailout for billionaire banksters in the trillions, by you, the sucker-punched taxpayer, the boot of wage slavery and trillions of dollars of debt from millions of college graduates, college students who are indentured servants the minute they step off the commencement graduation stage. The boot of hunger for 47 million Americans. The boot of Ponzi scheme whorehouse for anyone greedy enough to play the Wall Street Russian roulette wheel. The boot of suicide for 22 veterans each day. That's 300 beautiful youth each year. Your friends, your family, our community members who've returned from such carnage down in the quagmire, down in the swamp, down in the big muddy, and following the big fool Bush, Obama, and Trump says to push on. The boot of suicide for family members of returned Afghan Iraq military. And dear friend, no one talks about it. The boot of suicide for family members of returned Afghan Iraq military. And no one talks about it. The boot of suicide for family members of returned Afghan Iraq military. And dear friend, no one talks about it. Why? Why? Why doesn't anyone talk about it? Our national IQ has devolved to that of less than an idiot, the idiot wind of our times. Our collective IQ is 32, and American Idol, and Dancing with the Stars, and The Voice, and The View, and Degeneres 2 drone on. Our national guilt quotient is 451. That's our national GQ. It's 451. Fahrenheit 451. Outright fire because it's so combustible. Because we are such outright liars before the world stage and the world court of opinion. The world court at The Hague is going to try us for war crimes and crimes against humanity because of our silence. Silence is, and our complicity. We are alders, aiders, and abettors to the crime, ex post facto, in situ, in illo tempore, in spiritu. Dear friend, Memorial Day is right around the corner. Let's step back. Let's take a collective look at the long shadow of shame we've dragged behind us over 20,000 miles across the globe. Lo, these long 18 years, long, interminably long years. The long bag of shame we drag behind us. The long bag of shame we drag behind us all across the map of known and unknown territory. Forget the barbecues and hiding ourselves and our heads in the sands of time, which cannot dissolve our collective crime. Dear friend, we've been doing time since the whole shithouse went up in flames 19 years ago. We've all been in prison, captives in the Pentagon, State Department, White House, domestically imposed national insecurity state of Homeland Security. We are all collectively carrying these wounds of war. And dear friends, the whole house of cards is going to fall, one and all, and the whole shithouse is going to go up in flames. Let us take this time in respectful reverence and reflect upon this in silence, in compassion, in condolence, in sentience, in a cry for help, in forgiveness, in reconciliation for the least of these, for the seventh generation yet to come. This was written on Memorial Day 2014, 19 years too long away. Now that is a beautiful piece of reflection about what has been going on in these American states the last 19 years of this war in Afghanistan. We are now entering stupid time. Dear ones, we are now entering stupid time. If there are no gnomes in the Genome Project, there are no people either. There are only known knowns and unknown knowns and known unknown knowns, who are clones masquerading as inside the Beltway clowns. The Boner Vader Boner effect. Some of stupid time has occurred. Some of stupid time is now occurring. Some of stupid time will soon occur as this war draws down to a complete fucking halt. Through default, despite what Obama, the big fool, says to march on for another 2 years in Afghanistan, what poppycock drivel. That, dear ones, is stupid time. Just to emphasize the point, the big fool pops up in Afghanistan, unannounced as a coward always does, on Memorial Day, to maximize for the maximum Pentagon PR, public relations, photo op. Patriotic support for our troops is a bullshit photo op effect. And the big fool says to push on. And then the big fool pops up again at West Point Military Academy for graduation for another big fool poop shoot photo op propaganda coup. Well, dear ones, the big fool has already shot his wad. He's already shot his load. He's an impotent limp dick trying to parade in his Pentagon Commander-in-Chief false bravado, but his words fall on deaf ears. We're already done. That's stupid time. And the big fool says to push on. And Kerry shows up in Kiev to shove his shiv into a half-frightened, totally starving populace, imping and parading his American imperialism, saber-rattling bravado of bullshit. That's stupid time, folks. And then Biden shows up right after the Kerry show for another no-show. We'll tell you what to do, American Vampire Empire, neocon hollowing out speech, Halloween 365, 24/7 freak show of loonies and DC vampires of neo-Nazi State Department, wanting to keep us in a state of perpetual war, in a state of perpetual homeland security. That's stupid time, dear ones. And the big fool says to push on, right on, over a cliff. Aho. Stupid time in the great American medicine freak show. Aho. So this is what we've been dealing with. So we got to reflect on these things. It's best to speak it out, to vent our rage. And we can have love and rage, amore rabia, but first we get our rage, then we get our love. Iowa City middle finger skyline. Well, Bob Dylan came out with a soothing, reassuring album in the late 60s. Acoustic, soft, and sonically satisfying, called Nashville Skyline. New architectures and textures of sounds, a real work of art, and totally new awareness, providing a new terrain of joy, called Nashville Skyline. Now comes forward the 60s hippie Iowa City, a new ped mall for cool gatherings of we the people. Then comes the Reagan 80s and Nike, and the Nike swastika saying, just do it. And trendy fitness and friendly fascism fashion on bikes with helmet gear and racer stripe Nike gear. Bunch of friendly fascists on wheels rolling down some bike path near you, near New BO in Cedar Rapids. And they're selling of the soul of America and the politically correct micromanaging and sweeping the streets clean. You call that gentrification, sweeping the streets clean of all the poor, with the smiley fascist cops saying, "Have a nice day," while they kick troubadours and gypsies and rainbow gathering types in the fucking balls and haul them off the Ped Mall in downtown, so the Chicago Richies and the Chicago Richies and the students from Chicago at the University of Iowa and the University of Iowa jocks, Hawkeye jocks from out-of-town fans, and fraternity jugheads can run rampant in beer glugged out binges, run rampant across the Ped Mall in downtown Iowa City. Then the Iowa City skyline and the Ped Mall gets fucked in the rear with the first middle finger, called the Sheraton Big Business Hotel Cartel, smack dab in hippie Ped Mall of we the people, putting a monkey wrench by the big developer jocks, all former jocks of the football program of Friendly Kirk free rents. Free rents for all the athletes, super high, inflated sky high rents for anybody else. And these big developer jocks who jacked up all the rental prices to obscenity and clear beyond the void. Then comes the Chauncey, right in front of the sacred Black Hawk mural, now whitewashed and removed from legitimate social memory, just across the good old middle class PC Hurteen and Stalkers with a second fucking middle finger, soul-destructing downtown Iowa City and we the people. And then comes all the way down south to Butte Street, all these clowns of the jock developer class, high-rising one another with sky-high prices for rent and pushing everybody else out and soul-destructing the authentic Iowa City. Soul-destructing downtown and all the way down south to Butte Street of Iowa City, we the people. Imagine that. The only town in America, Iowa City double middle finger skyline, and we the people got fucked. Come on, International Writers Workshop writers, write about this. Hijacking of the Iowa City skyline, soul-destructing the universal city of stories, of the World Heritage Site, of literature. Come on, write about this hijacking of the Iowa City skyline. You know Van Gogh cut a zero off for less than this, because of stuff like this. Now there's a true soul, innocent Vincent, long live starry nights. This is written under midnight, under a full moon, watching you, Iowa City, from the Black Angel of Dextra Dei, Aho, Iowa City skyline. And we did hear the soldier bones, but the soldier bones need to be heard again. Hear the soldier bones. Even the spark of love has grown stone cold. Jesus Christ can't even hear this. It tears the soul from the vault. And it's nobody's fault, or whose fault is it? Been working toward this all my life. Now the war is weak in the crypts of blood, even the encoded shoulder erased inside the double helix calyx of separation time. Inside OK DNA, and no one knows a bone or owes a dime for this time. Hear the soldiers' bones. They grow where all the groans have stopped, and all the twisted sisters have gathered in situ ritual. Only the goddess mystery knows inside Arcadia fire. The lipstick of your mind wraps your lips around me. Every time you close your eyes, come and find your lover. Underneath the covers, San Francisco, darling, in the open golden gate of now. hang gliding off the cliffs of forever eternitas. And your desire shines in diamond-jeweled ornament. In your heart, she sings. In your heart, she sings liberation. Here, where you will only find desire once and true, and only once in your life, where it dances forever in this ocean of secrets. Beyond the cold of the age, spread the ashes of your rage upon this age. Come up here once and forever, and dance in this green fire. Burn yourself, purify this desire. Get ready for whoa in the mystery of this circadian relief. See it painted in the silhouette, smiling on the side of your face, in female cameo, hanging on the golden chain, caressing your neck, dancing and cascading in shimmering ripples down your breast. And the symmetry of desires birth in the fires from here, dripping in shining radiance. My heart and soul singing through shimmering blue of your beauty dark champagne eyes. Create your birth here, behind the dark mirror, and sing in the fire. Hear the soldier bones and know release, forgiveness, loving compassion, burning desire, setting the old mental house aflame, setting the old mental house aflame, sending it up in fire, so now we can see the full moon over New Year. Tatvamasi, thou art that. Happy New Year. Love this. Aho. Hear the soldier bones. So this is called Lizard Crimson. My parole officer will be so proud of me, sitting under Mount Trashmore, sipping lattes, doing the Macarena, with all the political whores running for president in the Iowa caucuses. Ah yes, they're called the Iowa Cockeye. In the land of the Hawkeyes, they go apeshit, cockeyed, with all the caca they spread all over the barnyard called Iowa. They want to bring more people to Iowa by starting a new place for innovations called the Iowa Department of Entrepreneurial Development, to be run by Barnyard itself, these politicians. Yeah, they scrambled another shitload of B-52s over off at Omaha, eating their own farrow, just past the barbed wire fences from the fertile farm fields. Listening to those voodoo tones hitting the afterburner, going bong, straight up. Going out west, they'll appreciate me. The lips of anonymity, the pornography of the heart, in the streets of electricity, in the throne room, new car showroom, velvet ropes encase the latest cartoon. You can drive away with 6 years of your pay and another 10 years of your life. Electrocution of desire, kings, pimps, and bums, hangmen raining drones, drowning hope down in Pakistan, Afghanistan. Widespread panic plays a pale, grateful dead. Over behind Danny's Diner, Officer Obi is asleep at the wheel. Over in China, a French-speaking tourist sees someone who looks just like him and says, "Déjà vu? Aho." 1212, Zulkin, 2013, in Lakesh, Alakan, Lizard Crimson. Dissolution, Buddha Nuke. Well, Nike and billionaire Philip Knight, sweatshop creator of the Indo-Chinese and Asia slaves, with children under armed guard, slave shipping, sweating for 16 hours a day to make your Air Jordan Nikes and your and your Air Jordan Nikes and your a Nike swastika of American slave ship of shame. Be careful of the shoes you are choosing. It matters. Is it Nike? Is it shame? Buddha Nuke shows up in the same way, hidden in the holes of the souls of the shoeless Joe dream factory called Hollywood, soulless gumshoes looking for another land, another people, another culture to expropriate, to exploit for profit. Buddha Nuke showed up on the United States Army Air Force radars at exactly 8:06 a.m. August 6th, 1945 at Hiroshima. Buddha Nuke showed up and was created solely by the Americans. Buddha Nuke was exploded solely by the Americans. Buddha Nuke was exploited solely by the Americans. Buddha Nuke created annihilation solely by the Americans in an act of soul destruction never before seen on planet Earth. Buddha Nuke destroyed mirth on earth. Buddha Nuke destroyed soul laughter. Buddha Nuke created the darkness on earth, DOE, called the Department of Energy. Buddha Nuke created the Dark Ages, called the Nuclear Age. It is time now, once and for all, to move beyond Buddha Nuke for the red, yellow, black, and white hoops of all the nations, for the seventh generation yet to come. It is time to be here now for the dissolution of Buddha Nuke. In these American states, this is the Planet Weather Report, Tat Vam Asi. And Buddha Nuke, better known as Buddha Nike. And so we reflect on these things. And this is a piece called Love Joy in the New Year. Love Joy in the New Year, for this is a new school year. This is dedicated to Tom Walls, a dear friend who has passed on within the last year. Love Joy in the New Year, a professor of education. Dear ones, time, space, and ego are the grand illusions of our lives. Time, space, and ego are the grand illusions of our lives. It's time to co-create and activate a new template for the new millennium of our lives. We can't live in the past inside the box of old time space the masters of war had configured for ourselves, for our entire lives. Inside the cage of conformity where we've been totally predictable and compliant. It's time to confabulate the establishment, time to rip up the script they've ripped off to manipulate, predict, handle, and manage our lives. It's time to set a new course on a new concourse, and for the first time in our lives, take off and really fly. Time to leap, dear friends, because and beyond the old conscript, beyond the old shadows, beyond the old cage and the rage of the age, outside the box thinking by liberating our mind. This is redemption song, dear friend, redemption song. As scientists, we reclaim the very freedom of our very own lives collectively, both collective unconscious and collective conscious. To our new awareness of who we truly are, the new formula is E equals MC to the fourth, where we hit hyperspace beyond the grand illusion of space, time, and ego continuum, and beyond the military-industrial war complex, and fly free beyond the speed of light, right into the heart and speed of delight. To get there, make your wish not only for this new year of the new school year, but also for the new millennium, the beginning of the ecological age, and New Jerusalem. New Jerusalem living is walking in this world. New Jerusalem is living right inside our hearts. New Jerusalem is walking in this world. Make it a good wish. Make it a bright wish. Make it a happy health wish. It's going to live with you a long, long while. So smile, sing, may peace prevail upon earth in the rainbow hoops of all the nations, red, yellow, black, and white. And may you, dear friend, have a truly happy new year. For all in all, we are one. Love, joy in the new year. And this is based on a wedding reception gone sad. A wedding reception gone sad in Kansas City. So this is called Kansas City Blues Etudes. In some back roadhouse on the main strip, galvanized heat seeks its own entity. This glitched out gulch of famine had seen better days, Hollywood days, complete with wannabe swimming pool, and Guantanamera never had a chance. And Guantanamera never had a chance for the lack of summer simmer sweet. For the lack of summer simmer sweet. And the whole thing played out old tunes on a Wurlitzer. And Sam and Peck and Charlie and Pa all sat around drinking the lesser bush light, while the lights in Tinseltown were turned down low, and this place was haunted. A set-up and a sit-down caused frowns from all over town in a Chase lounge to have a sit-down strike. For no laughing, no fun, no smiles, just family strychnine and styrofoam cups on the cusp of what promised to be an event. Oh, wail, just toxic attitudes concretized in statues of great Greek mythos around the pool, accompanied by narrow latitudes and etudes and psychic, wherefore art thou not that? And Jack wore a hat and wandered round this weird place while the whole shithouse went up in wedding flames. So that's the Kansas City Etudes, Kansas City Blues Etudes in some back roadhouse on the main strip. So this is some of the portions of the reflection that August brings, not necessarily, but by impressed disillusionment. So we begin to see things as they really are. And out of this comes a deeper understanding of where we've been in these 19 years in the war of Afghanistan. And I ask everyone to reflect on what this has meant to you in your life. If you see the direct connection between the obscene military war spending of $700 billion a year as the cause and effect of over $1.5 trillion student loan debt. That's like $1 trillion is $1,000 billion. So $1.5 trillion student college loan debt is directly due to the military Pentagon budget, which is $700 billion a year. So we cut that budget in half, or cut it down to less than $100 billion a year. There would be no student debt anywhere in America. Students would be able to have degrees, get free college tuition, and go out and do their work, which their dream was for, to get education instead of being debt slaves for the next 20 years, paying off and doing jobs they don't want to do. So let's get rid of the student college $1 trillion debt by cutting out the Pentagon budget. So that's a little challenge for you students out there as a student year begins, to go down and check out that Pentagon budget and see how that directly reflects upon whatever debt that you may have or your friends may have. For that is a direct immorality of this unjust, immoral war in Afghanistan. It's caused us over $3 trillion of debt, and not to say all the people who have been killed, which is immoral and unjust. And so let's start paying some war reparations to those that we've killed and maimed. So perhaps we'll just finish this with a wavelength implies goodwill. Now, a wavelength implies goodwill, a friendly time continuum, and a positive space dimension where the energy of positive vibration is elicited and made manifest, which is a moiety, a relationship between different clans of people and tribes and villages and hamlets. There are no frowns here, and cities and metropolises and megalopolises and regions and provinces and states and even whole countries and nations. It's very clear, you see. It's very clear, you see. When you wave at somebody, you set up a wave vibration called goodwill. And so when you say hello to someone, that's a wave vibration. And as we set up wave vibrations with one another, this is a wavelength in the expanse of space. It takes no time. It takes to make a simple wave, a friendly goodbye and a friendly hello to your fellow human. It's also the expanse of time it takes to make such a hearty gesture of goodwill, and it sends positive energy. Try it sometime soon, dear friend. It'll make you and the designated person in this dance of time, this space expanse, feel mighty good, and it creates and provides the space for many a happy return done in the heart of things. This is good stuff, so try it. And many blessings to you and yours on this first day of school. Peace.